Welcome to lesson 28, creating an analysis. We'll go back to the Oracle BI Analytics, which should still be open. On the top left corner under create, click on analysis. Then this opens a list of subject areas and we'll choose paint. On the left hand side, we'll expand the time dimension table and double click on the calendar year description. This brings it over to the selected columns pane. Then we'll expand the fact table and double click on dollars. This also adds it to selected columns. Next, click on the results tab next to the criteria tab. You will see the results come up as demonstrated here. Next, click on calendar year description. That is the column value CY 2006, and you will notice the report drills down to quarter level. Then we'll click on any value under the calendar quarter description. The column report will drill down to month level, and then we'll click on the month level and it will drill down further on, showing you dates for the given month. This part demonstrates how the hierarchical and level-based measures function that we previously did in an earlier lesson works. Next, we want to add a graph to our analysis. The first action is to remove the additional columns so that we can only remain with the two columns, which is the calendar year description and the dollars. You can achieve those two goals by either going to the criteria and deleting these additional columns which have been introduced while we were drilling down, or you can click on the back button until you get to the original report that you created earlier. To add a graph, we'll click on new, then we'll go to graph, we want a bar chart, and then we'll click a vertical bar chart. This is how you add a bar chart to an analysis. Next, we want to save the analysis, so we'll click on Save As. And once this folder comes up, what we want to do is we do not want to save it in the default location selected for us. Instead, we want to create a new folder which we'll call Paint Reports. So we'll click on the My Folders and create a new folder and call the new folder Paint Reports. And then you click OK, and we will name this as Report 1 in order for us to keep track of the reports that we're creating. Of course, in the real world, you will not have to name them Report 1. You have to give them a more descriptive title so that you can easily locate them as well as place them on the dashboard with a meaningful title. So we'll call this Report 1 and then we'll click OK. And you notice here it is changed from Untitled to Report 1. If we wanted to take a preview of what this report would look like on the dashboard, we would go ahead and click on the preview. And this kind of shows us how this report would otherwise appear on the dashboard. If you're happy with it, then you would save it as is and save it to a location where you can easily come back to it and eventually include it as part of the dashboard. So click Close to get back to the compound layout. We've just received an email after we distributed this report that the viewers of the report or the request of the reports have requested that we add an additional element to this report, and they want to see the units that are associated with those dollars. So to include an additional element, we'll go back to the criteria and then we'll scroll down to facts and then units, and then we can add them there. Then we click on results. So you will notice that the dollars and units are now present. So what if you wanted to have the dollars appear after the units and the units before the dollars? All you can simply do is you can go ahead and grab the header of this column and drag it over, and this will switch the position of the different measures, and then you can save it. That saves the changes for you. We've just received another email requesting us that to create an analysis, and that the results of this analysis should be provided to them in Excel, and also one other copy should be provided in PowerPoint. So what we'll do is we'll go back to the home page and go to Analysis, choose Paint. Once the analysis editor comes up, expand the time dimension table and get the gradient from there. Then we'll expand the product table and get the brand. Then we'll expand the market table and get the region. Then we'll go ahead and expand the fact table and get the dollars from there. Then we'll run it, make sure that it populates all the results. Then we'll return back to the criteria. And what we want to do is to place a filter for 2008, and that is our requirement. We've been requested that they only want to see the results for these different brands and regions for 2008. So we'll go ahead and go to the properties, filter, and we'll enter a value of 2008. We'll click OK. Then we'll run the results. And this filters the results down to only 2008 for Enterprise, Magicolor, McCloskey, and Valspar. While we are building this report, we've received additional instruction that the requester of the report, which needs to be exported to PowerPoint, does not want to see the region, but the requester to Excel wants to see the region, the brand, year, and the dollars. So we will go into the preview mode, and then we'll click on Export, and then to Excel. Then we want to open it in Microsoft Excel. This file format and extension of Untitled Analysis does not match. We still want to go ahead and open it. That was just a warning sign from Excel. And this is how you export results from Oracle Business Intelligence to Excel. Once you create a report in Oracle BI Analytics, you can easily export it to Excel. So we'll minimize this window, close the preview, and then go back to the compound layout. Recall that I'd mentioned that earlier the requester of the report to be delivered in PowerPoint does not want to see the region. They'll only want to see the grade year, which is the year of the transaction, the brand, and the dollars. So we'll go back to the criteria, go to region, and we'll delete the region and run the results, and then preview and export PowerPoint. Want to export it to PowerPoint? The version of PowerPoint on your computer may differ from what I'm demonstrating with right now, and this allows you to view the results in PowerPoint, so you can add it as part of your PowerPoint presentation, and you will notice that everything has come into tabular format, which you can also make additional color adjustments if you want to make your PowerPoint look a little bit prettier. Okay, so this demonstrated creation of analysis and exporting that analysis to Excel and PowerPoint. So there are other additional options if you go back to the preview, which are available for printing and exporting. You can export it to PDF, Excel, PowerPoint, and the web archive, as well as other data formats such as CSV and the text delimited, as well as XML format. Next, we'll save this report. Click on Save As. Under the Paint Reports, We want to title this as report number 2. So we'll just change the port number to number 2. You click OK, and that saves the report as report number 2. This concludes the lesson of creating an analysis, exporting an analysis to Excel, as well as exporting an analysis to PowerPoint. I look forward to showing you more in lesson 29.